Rocky, so you got to the States.
Yes.
In the late 90s. Everything was fine and you were going through. What do we have in America now? Police brutality and shooting of black people and everything. Did you ever run into any of those?
I never run into any of those, but you know, the thing is that, you know, when you are in LA, you know, you see a lot of that, you know. You see, you know, there was always a big difference when I talk about, you know, there's the Africans who migrate there because we never grew up under any kind of police brutality and also racism because we grew up with our own. A lot of times, sometimes it's very hard for you to even recognize it.
Yeah.
You know, whilst people, African American brothers who grew up in there, where it's a systemic thing, where if you live in a neighborhood whilst growing up, you leave your neighborhood, there's a police car, you're stopped, you ask where you're going, you're frisked, you're put on the, you know, so, and then every day you see your father is stopped, your mother is stopped, humiliated, and all of that kind of stuff, and you live through that. You know? And then a systemic thing of, you know, mass incarceration, dealing with all of that stuff. You know, I did not grow up.
It's almost as if your eyes invited when you grow into that. So when you interact with the police,
yes,
your look at the police is almost like apprehensive. Apprehension, where in your case, black Africans who went there would, police stop me, how are you doing?
I think that it's also because of, as you say, nature versus nurture.
Yeah.
So it's also nurture, you know, because no, it's actually nature, because when you look at our environment, when we go there, we are going there, we've never had a history of oppression. So we don't have, apart from, let's say, colonialism and all of that, you know, and that was like a long time after slavery, you know. So the way we see things and our experiences and the way we react to things are different. I was telling somebody that for so many times, even some of my black friends will ask me, you know, when you enter an elevator, you know, like, I mean, you see, you know, where there's like maybe a lonely white woman there or that kind of stuff, like they get nervous and all that. And I said, oh no, I've never seen it, just because
you don't know what you're looking for.
Yeah, I don't know what I'm looking for. You know, but so that's why sometimes.
And you see, the white woman too, because he doesn't see that in you, she's more comfortable.
And then the white woman to imagine that, you know, she's been watching TV shows that where the media, in terms of the black stereotypes that it's always shown at, always every time on TV, it's a black man robbing a bank or a black man, you know. So the images of black people that are being shown are always never the positive image. So white people too have been conditioned to always have a certain fear of a black man before they meet the person.
Yes, but you see, that's where I have the problem. Because if white people are making movies that stereotype you, when you get the opportunity to make movies, why wouldn't you make movies like Boomerang? But why would you continue to feed into that stereotype by making movies like Boys in the Hood and all those things? That is where I have a problem with.
You see, like when we go to something like Boys in the Hood, it's almost like the rap songs, you know. The rap songs, there was something about them whereby it wasn't like they were glorifying or talking about, it was the life that they lived that most people didn't understand.
So they're venting.
Yeah, you see, till George Floyd, most people did not understand the pain of black people. We knew about it.
Yeah.
White people knew about it, about racism. But it got to a point, even when you talk about racism, everybody pretended
but
that it didn't exist.
By the way, I will also say this for someone, an African man who has lived in America for decades.
Yeah.
I can tell you, I've been pulled over multiple times by white police officers.
Yeah.
Never disrespected.
Yeah.
Not once.
Yeah.
Guess the one time that I was disrespected was a black police officer.
Well, but it's not systemic. You see, that's the thing.
Yeah.
That you have individuals, but even the black police officer, he's probably doing his job, first of all.
No, this one was disrespectful.
No, I'm saying that the police, you know, when you have, you know, the policeman, you know, and then also black policemen, obviously when he's on the job, he's expected to even when he see his brothers, or else they will be like, you're giving a pass to people. So sometimes I think that the overcompensation for trying to fit in and all of that. But the thing is that the reality of America, as you know and I know, is that America, the system, how it's set up, if you don't have the opportunity of education, if you don't have the opportunity of lesson, because most of we who go there, the Africans who go there, you already have an ability to pay your ticket to get there. So obviously you have some support system.
Yeah.
Either from your family that lives there, or some family that has money, or somebody that is there. So you're not going there literally as a refugee.
And let's face it, those of us who live the continent of Africa, you just rightfully said, by virtue of the fact that you're actually able to buy your ticket means you're not exactly average. But the mistake we make is that we get to America and we compare ourselves with the whole population. And you have to, every population has levels, the higher up, the average, the lower class, and everything. Would you, those of us who live the continent in Africa to go there, we're not exactly the lower class. So is it fair for us to compare ourselves, our community in America, with the larger African American community?
Oh, of course, it's our people, you know. So I think that, it's our people. But the thing is that most of the times we are also a little bit dissociated.
That's the dissociation part.
Yeah, dissociated from the reality of, because
that's it.
Because there's never a history, black history taught in schools.
Yeah.
So imagine, our brothers and sisters have gone there, 400 years of slavery. There's the genetic memory too, because all the pain, the trauma, and everything is carried through generations.
And we didn't face that.
I mean, we faced that probably back, let's say, maybe during slavery, but a lot of times, and wars and all that. But we had our own to heal and still be with our own people and grow. They did not have. They had to go through several stages, and then a lot of their leaders and who came to try and speak on their behalf to were always kind of harassed. From Malcolm X, Martin Luther King, W.E.B. Du Bois, all these black leaders, Marcus Garvey, all these black leaders who came to be on the side of black people also got harassed. So they didn't have the savior factor in terms of helping them move forward. And I think that pain and frustration and not having the American dream, not really, it was always talked about in grand sense, but that American dream only works for you if you already have like what's called a stepping stone on it, which most of them did not.
This interview is taking on a different thing that we anticipate. You've touched on a few issues. Growing up in Africa, I never saw anybody rough up my father. My father was this king.
Yes.
You see what I'm saying?
Yes.
He was never dehumanized in any form.
Yes.
That's one. Two, when I turn on the TV, the president is black like me, the attorney general, whoever is who looks like me.
Yeah.
So this is the mind with which I enter America.
Yes.
Now, look at let's say the African American who also grew up there. Chances are, like you say, in LA, he's seen his parent handcuffed before and roughed up.
Several times.
That subdues you.
Yes.
And then you look on TV, until Obama came, everybody who was president was white.
Yes.
So it was not even realistic for you as a black child to say, when I grow up, I want to be president.
Yes.
So the experiences are different.
On TV, the stereotype, the icons on
TV
were all not of your own.
Okay.
It was, people who were elevated in popular culture and all that kind of stuff did not represent.
And if you saw your own, he was in handcuff. He was being chased down.
Exactly. So so that was when you look at, when we talk about systemic racism.
So all those, do white people see this?
But that's why I'm saying that the average white person probably does not see it. Some see it.
Why wouldn't you?
The reason why you won't see it, because it's not being perpetuated on you.
Who feels it knows it?
Who feels it knows it?
Bob Marley.
Yes. So because if you wake up and everywhere you go, it's your own. Like here, that's the same reason why when I go there, a woman clutches her purse. I'm still like,
you see it.
To it.
You see it.
I see it, but it doesn't affect me.
Right.
I'm just like, if you're clutching your purse, that's your body.
That's
I'm a free African. I'm a free thinker. And all of that. But the thing is that it's because I am confident in who I am, because I grew up in place where
based on your nurture.
Everything, everybody, as you were saying, you turn on the TV, is one of your own and all of that kind of stuff. But so I didn't come with that constantly.
Any baggage.
Constantly work, trying to survive and succeed in a system that is not playing ball with me.
Let me. I want to shift this conversation into white folks a little bit, because, and I'll start by painting a picture to you. If you're black, let's say you go to a restaurant with your girlfriend, you sit down, and the white couple that just came 2 minutes after you gets attended to first. Do you think that white couple, they know anything wrong?
No, they don't. They don't see it.
But you sit here and say, wait, he came after us. Why are they taking care of them before me? You see it, but they won't see it.
No, they won't see it, because them is like the normal thing.
That's the normal thing, right? So that is what brings the issue. Why only recently, only after Floyd, that white people are starting to see, oh, this is what we've been oblivious.
Because it was no more, because at first when it happened, we didn't have the opportunity of what's it called, social media. The media
but they've been beneficiary of white privilege for all this time. We've been telling them that.
But the thing is that nobody in another race is going to stop what they're doing in order to help you unless it affects them. It's just a humanity. That's how we are.
But if you mean well, you
empathize.
Yes.
But empathizing and having compassion for it and marching with us
and feeling it,
it's different. You never know it until you feel it. Even me, I've lived in America, but when I saw that visual, that image of that guy with his knee,
I was too much,
and the thing. It doesn't, you just have to be human.
Yeah.
For it to really, so what it did was that a lot of white people who probably have seen it going, but it wasn't something that they were bothered about just because it wasn't their business. Now, all of a sudden, it was their business because what they saw was appalling. So if you are part of it is now being, the brushstrokes are being painted white as white supremacist, white racism, and you're a white person too, and you all of a sudden say, oh, I don't do that, I don't support that. But then you're dealing with that, so you benefit from it, and also there's going to be some soul searching.
Soul searching. Where is this all leading? Where is this all leading? What do you think?
I think that ultimately we have no other choice in terms of arriving at a point where we have to coexist. We all have to coexist. So regardless of the struggle, regardless of the fight, regardless of all of that kind of stuff, we have to get to a place where there is justice, there is dignity, there's mutual respect for all people of all races, of all social structure, without regards to your racial or your ethnicity.
Very good.
So I think that ultimately that's going to be, because without that, then humanity will lose our way. Because we can't live in a place where we are suspicious, a race war where my life is towards killing another people of race, another person's life is also killing another person. Then it's chaos.
You don't think this can generate into a race war?
It can generate into a race war, but when we go there, nobody will win.
Nobody will win.
Nobody will win.
Some folks think they will win.
Yeah, but I'm saying we will all lose.
Okay.
Whoever thinks they because people who are crazy enough and also insensitive enough or blind enough to think that a racial war will
solve the problem.
Will solve some kind of problem are deluded, and I think that's why we have to redouble our efforts to also find friends, not necessarily because this is not even a Black Lives Matter.
It's a human thing.
No, Black Lives Matter is not a black problem. Black Lives Matter is a humanity problem.
It's a humanity problem.
It's about humanity waking up to see what historic injustice that has been done to a race, and also right before the eyes of the whole world, seeing it being perpetuated by people who are supposed to be there to help you. So I think it defeats and also compromises the trust in certain institutions, and it leads all of us to have that conversation.